going to be more or less about our eating habits. So a lot of things that we're taking in and consuming and things of that nature can make it a lot worse on us, as far as things that we do every day. And we're like, why am I still stressing out? I'm on my medication, I'm on this, I'm in therapy, and I still find myself doing this. But here's the reason why. Easy things that can easily get you triggered or takes a toll on your anxiety, period. So here's the thing, number one. Reaching for sugar. Sugar is just needs to be taken out the whole diet. Hey, I'm working on my weight loss journey, so I already know how important this is to actually, take these things and take into consideration where you have to eat better, feed your body so that your body can give you the benefits that you need. But I'm a little late on that, but I've been knowing that, but we all been knowing that. We get overweight, we have children, we was overweight before we had kids, or whatever your weight loss thing is or not, it's still important to eat the right things. So taking in a lot of sugar can affect your anxiety, can make it worse on you. So even if you're going into a certain binge and all I want is chocolate, or all I want is these sweets and donuts or something, whatever it is, that can really, if you already having a hard time or you having a day, if you eat that, that's gonna be worse. So sugar, cut it out your diet, period. It'll be better on us all together, so we can lose this weight or just function better. So that's one good would be, don't skip too many meals. And I know sometimes people are doing intermittent fasting, so that's cool. But for the girlies or whoever that are not doing that, and you find yourself skipping meals, I'm eating once a day, it doesn't always help with anxiety. It can definitely trigger you. So long as you are at least eating at least 2 balanced meals a day or whatever like that, sometimes your hunger can affect. I get mad when I'm hungry, I ain't gonna even lie to you. But other than that, it can trigger you. You know what I'm saying? If you're not eating well. Drinking caffeine. I know listen, for the coffee girls, hey, for the coffee guys, hey, it is what it is. But sometimes for those that are dealing with anxiety, that might be something that you might want to cut out of your diet or not use as much. Sometimes you need that get up and go. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I do take in a lot of things that have caffeine in it, or something that gives me that boost. And you have to be very mindful of when you are feeling a certain way, you're already anxious, stay away from drinking caffeine. Sorry, but it's actually could be a good thing for you. Okay, so yeah, eating processed foods. We got all this stuff. We need to stop doing it. We need to stop doing that anyway. Processed foods, and as hard as it is, it sucks, but we have to cut that out of our diet. It does not help with anxiety. Poor eating habits, period, does not help your anxiety. So you do have to be mindful of your diet. This whole section was pretty much, that's like 6 things that I already went through right there just for food intake. And also like not getting enough fluids. If you already dehydrated or you haven't been drinking your portion of water and getting the water into your system, it can also really trigger your anxiety and make things worse for you. So that is pretty much most of the things that can trigger you, food and diet wise. And we're going to just like transition into the other things that would make it harder for you on your everyday life dealing with anxiety. Alcohol, I guess, could have went with the food, but watch your consumption. Sometimes we want to drink ourselves away or just find something, whatever kind of coping mechanism. Drinking is not it. It's not, and of course, alcohol contains a lot of sugar as well. So that kind of coincides with the no sugar. So, but anyway, alcohol does not solve everything. It's good in moderation. Everything's good in moderation, but alcohol does not help your anxiety. It can also make it worse. I tried, and I was like, this is not working. So I cut it out. I do social drinking. It's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But just be mindful of how important it is to not trigger your anxiety at all. Comparing yourself to other people. We have social media in general, and that's all we need to say. Social media, what have you, especially for people that didn't grow up with social media. I'm one of those girls. I am a 90s girl, teenager, growing up in the 90s. We didn't have those things. Early 2000s. We went through life actually and enjoyed life. We did. We enjoyed life for what it was, and a lot of things we didn't know because we didn't see it. So it's like, okay, if somebody going through something or somebody's experiencing something or whatever, we didn't have to really worry about it because we didn't know it. So it wasn't a lot to compare unless it's a friend of yours or you heard through the grapevine. But now everything's out. If you do anything, you're posting it on Facebook. You're taking a picture of it. What I ate today. What I didn't do today. He got girl. I got a new man. He a good man, Savannah. We got all this thing going on, and so therefore you're like, dang, I should be here. Or I just got promoted. I'm this. I just got my certification in this, that, and third. Your career. People are, climbing ladders, which we are congratulating those people. But sometimes people can feel away and feel envious or feel like, dang, I should be here. I'm this age and I am not married. I don't have children. I don't have this, that, and the third. And you start really compiling these things. And then now you got anxiety. And now you can't sleep. And that's another thing. Lack of sleep is something that will trigger your anxiety. So now you got that. Can we win? You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of how we look at social media, because baby, everything ain't on there is not what that is. We all know that if we're grown adults and deal with reality, we know that what we see is not always what we see. You got to have that third eye to see stuff, and we ain't in them people business. We don't know what they be doing. We don't know if they deserve, like they might be at that point where they deserve that win. They deserve that man or that woman. They deserve, you know what I'm saying? So we always want to be positive and happy for them instead of hating. Don't be a hater. But comparing yourself adds to anxiety. Like I said, lack of sleep. Don't play like you ain't got anxiety. That's another thing. Some people don't want to come to terms with mental health, and a lot of it is in our Black community. Don't want to realize that these things, once you've been properly diagnosed, not self-diagnosed, but properly diagnosed by a doctor that's saying, hey, you have this, okay? Once they have done that, I'm not talking about going on Google and figure, I think I got that. Everybody has a certain point of where they have anxiety or they have a fear. Fear is a part of our body. Like that's something that to save ourselves. So fear is there for that, to make you be aware, to be, hey, I need to be afraid of this. Maybe I should, but some of us don't have the chemicals in our brain where that works properly. So there's a level that everybody can have some anxiety, you know what I mean? But those that are severely dealing with this, then don't ignore it and be like, I don't want to take my medicine, or I don't want to be that. Because I was like that. I was 23 when I realized it, or when I went to the doctor and they told me, and I was like, what? I've been feeling like this all my life. But I never knew what it was. My parents didn't really know what it was. So we didn't have the resources, and we didn't know what it really was. And so a lot of us are walking around with all kinds of mental health issues because we don't know. But like we are living in a time where we are able to go to the doctor, go to therapy, go and figure out what's going on with you. And we're not afraid. It's not this, this light over it, like you're crazy or whatever the case. When people then say, just go figure out you and take care of you. If you're taking care of your body, you go take care of your head. And this is the main thing right here, is your brain. And if it's not functioning well, why would we not go and try to figure this out and get this diagnosed and figure out what's going on with us with that? We would if something was going on with our body. And that's a part of us. Mental health is a part of you. So get the help that you need and don't ignore it, because that don't help it. Ignoring anxiety ain't gonna help you, baby. Get yourself together, get it done, and join the crew. Okay? Watching the news. We got a lot going on. We got the voting stuff going on. We got a lot of stuff that we see going on every day. The news can take your joy. It can take a lot. And yes, we need to watch it. Yes, we need to be aware. We need to be doing these things. So it's nothing wrong with it. At the same time, though, it can be, it could take your joy away, and it could definitely make you be, especially if you're watching it before you go to bed. You're like, okay, all these things, and your thoughts start rolling through your brain, and before you know it, you can't even sleep, which is another, like I already talked about sleep, and then that messes up everything. So try not to go to sleep on it. Try not to go looking on your phone and going to sleep on all that. You need to try to have that transition before you go to bed. not exercising, which is something I hate to do, and I still hate it, even though I love the way it makes me feel. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives you those chemicals. It builds that up to make you feel a certain way after you exercise. So actually, exercising can help your anxiety, because those chemicals that you need so bad, it will kick in if you do just a little bit, just walking. Because I'm not a gym's girl. I don't go to the gym. I don't do all that. I need to. But I also like the comfort of my home. I'm an introvert, so it's kind of like I like looking on YouTube and doing Grow with Joe, things like that. She does like walking videos and exercise, and it's just like, it's so simple to do. Before you know it, you're gonna build a sweat and everything. You in your house walking. You know what I'm saying? So for the people that don't just like love it like I do, I don't love it, but just going and actually just doing something, moving. If you're at work, walking around the building outside, I do that when I work in the office sometimes, and I walk around the building, you know, things like that to get your body moving will actually get you up out of feeling so much anxiety sometimes. So that's a good thing to do. So that's basically it. So keeping a good diet, making sure we're cutting out sugar, making sure that we're not skipping meals, making sure we're not drinking too much caffeine. We're not eating any processed foods, and having poor eating habits, not drinking too much, consuming way too much alcohol, ain't gonna do nothing, not exercising like I just said, watching the news, ignoring your anxiety, lack of sleep, comparing yourself to others, that was just and drinking your water, because I'm doing that too. So basically, that's all the things you need to do to keep, knock out some of these habits that make it worse on us, that has anxiety, and it's not cute, and we have to do our best. So thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a good day.